do you think about these numbers?
Yeah, it's always the case, but then I've seen other polling that says that the majority of Americans blame Republicans. I'm sure my colleague can show me polls that says they blame the Democrats. It's not good for either party, quite frankly, but the messaging going forward from the Republicans and the Democrats, they're getting their messaging out with as many voices as they can. The bottom line is this. I could make an argument for both sides, but the bottom line is, why not get to the table, negotiate what cannot be negotiated or was not negotiated with the big ugly bill, and hope to get it negotiated later. The Democrats feel a sense of urgency because they couldn't stop that bill from going through. At least 20 million Americans are going to lose their health care and Medicare benefits, so why not negotiate now? The government says, or the GOP will say, hey, we will negotiate that. But you haven't negotiated it before, but we will just open the government up. And so I think the Dems just don't trust the Republicans. I think they need a federal mediator, quite frankly, to get them to the table. As a trial lawyer, I deal with mediators all the time. But it's just not good for America, not good for our workers. And the rhetoric coming from both sides, quite frankly, especially the White House, isn't good for any of this. Furloughs are one thing because the government's not running. Terminating employees to continue to reduce the government under the GOP Plan 25 is very different, and we've never seen anything like this before. And what are Democratic-oriented public service employees? Does he mean he's shutting down and laying off people who service urban areas or people of color or poor people as a way to punish Democrats to bring them to the table? The Democrats are pretty much holding strong. Anyone that's going to wait on the Democrats to change their mind, there's no really reason to trust the GOP is going to fix Obamacare or fix Medicare or those health care costs. So now there's an extreme sense of urgency of now, because otherwise the Democrats won't have any leverage. Unfortunately, we all suffer because of that. But there's a lot that's changed between the Schumer vote and now. That big ugly bill came into place. Healthcare is at risk because of healthcare costs and because the Republicans need to reduce all of these costs in order to put these tax cuts in place. And so that's a big change. And so if the Republicans didn't talk to the Democrats with the big ugly bill, why are they going to talk later? Because remember, everything in the big ugly bill is law right now. So they lose their leverage, if you will. And so for me, to resolve it, I think the Republicans need to negotiate with the Dems. Maybe you not give them everything, but give them something in exchange for getting this government open and with a good faith basis to negotiate the rest later, or do something, right? Because right now, both sides are suffering, and most importantly, America is suffering. At some point in time, it's blinksmanship, if you will. As you know, I'm a former prosecutor, trial lawyer. Some point, somebody's going to blink, and we just haven't gotten to that point yet. I think the Democrats have a better message of standing up for health care and Medicare, and you couple that with the fact that the Republicans control all three houses. Just talking about messaging now, that's a much better and simple message for the American people, especially for those who are not getting their paychecks or going forward in the next 2 to 4 weeks not getting their paycheck. But then again, that's just about messaging. The reality is the suffering continues. No one wants to take the blame, but somebody's got to get to the table and negotiate. And right now, the Republicans can drive that narrative by sitting down and negotiating, and they're refusing to do that right now. That's a real problem.